Do we have any kind of red light or anything on? No. Hi, hopefully you can see me. I just left a pause there so you could make rude comments if you felt so inclined. As I'm sure you've read in the title bio, my name is Paul Murphy. And you will also know that this is a recital of some of the song lyrics I've written in the last 3 weeks. What you don't know is that the viewfinder on the video camera is broken down. I'm hoping I'm in shot. Maybe a disembodied voice would be better. I did one of these this morning, and then I know that some people like me to talk about the songs. So this is a version of me with some between song chat. If you can see the picture of my beautiful children behind me, then all is good. Emily's Anthem. Emily, I want you to know, in love's light, shadows cannot grow, despair cannot bloom, and lies cannot thrive. Dreams remain forever alive. Emily, there's no wilderness that can withstand friendship's caress. Deceit will kneel and bow in shame at the mention of its name. Emily, when the sirens wail, their tunes of hate are to no avail. Honesty is an unbreached tower. From its touch, soul saboteurs cower. Emily, trust self-belief. Let inner strength be your motif. Walk free of fear and jealous greed. All you are is all you need. So it's called Emily's Anthem, or Emily's At Hem, as it says on the note sheet. That was written at 14:32 p.m. on the 15th of August 2024. So 10 days ago. And I kind of like that song, and that's well, I like all my songs, I like all my lyrics. I have a YouTube channel. You know this if you're viewing me on YouTube, but if you're viewing me on Patreon or somewhere else, then you might not know that. And someone sent me a message about one of my songs, the performance of, and I've got no idea where to place my eyes to, so I'm sorry. And this lovely lady said, that song, it put me up. I can't remember the name of the song at the moment now. I think it was Daughter of the Mountain, which is another very positive, proactive song that's going to come up soon. And actually, I think it might be Hush, actually. And she said, you know, it's nice. It was nice to watch or come home to. The lady had a bad day. So I wanted to write a song of thanks to that, and that lady's called Emily. So that came from there, and I thought, okay, well, I should write a song as a thank you. And then it became a little bit wider, and I thought, okay, well, people are having bad days, let's make it, to say that, whatever gets hurled into the pot, it's okay, it won't touch you, you'll swim free. And my beautiful daughter is called Emily, and she's 10 years old. And although I've not seen or heard from her in a long, long time, something for her as she grows. So the verses, it's 4 verses, as you now know, and they deal with, so verse 1, in love's light, deals with love. So the 4, what I would say are the 4 cornerstones of a good life. So verse 1, love. Verse 2, friendship. Verse 3, honesty. Verse 4, inner strength. Some terrible noises coming on from outside. I hope you can't hear them. Try to dream without seeing me. How are your eyes? Are they still shedding tears? Goodbye is just a closing word. The memory never disappears. You gave me your heart, and I'll never set it free. Try to dream without seeing me. Are you alone? Even when someone's there, you can try to outrun the past, but it will catch you unawares. You gave me your heart, and I'll never set it free. Try to dream without seeing me. Recall these lips, how soft they were on yours. Should they but whisper out your name, you'd crawl through hell to my door. You gave me your heart, and I'll never set it free. Try to dream without seeing me. And that was basically written yesterday at 18:26 p.m. That is a very, that's kind of a rare song for me. Long-term viewers will know just how I'm good at testing your patience. Long-term viewers will know that normally, well, 95% of the time, the songs just come to me all in one go. So for 45 years, it's grab pen, grab blank piece of paper, and a certain amount, the first word comes, and then the next thing I know, it's the last word, and I'm writing copyright Paul Murphy, 1982, 1983, 1984, at the 2024 in the bottom left-hand corner. And then, having spent 15 minutes writing a song, I spent about 15 hours trying to think of a title for it. But almost uniformly, the songs all come in one go. Sometimes that can be a more daunting prospect than you would imagine. In the case of the song that I wrote a few days ago now, it's called The Ballad of Justice Road. And I sat down to write, I sat down to just write a love song. And and it runs to 27 minutes. I think it's got 30 verses, I think. And that was 90 minutes just sitting there. Anyway, but that's a story for another song. This song here came about, there was a lady, all I know about her is her name is Juliet, and I misplaced her surname. And I was trawling through IMDb, just your likes, going through the bits on IMDb. You always want to find out who the actor was, and some guy who walked past the screen, for a billionth of a second in a 1973 episode of Matlock or something or another. And I was like, I wonder who that is, and just, what became of them kind of thing. And, it's Hollywood in any case, so everyone's beautiful, aren't they, I was going to say even Ernest Borgnine, if you put him up to 70 feet wide, but Ernest Borgnine, nothing unattractive about Ernie Borgnine. Wonderful actor in some of my favourite films. Bad Day at Black Rock, a song that had a big influence on me through my life. I saw it when I was maybe 9, 10 years old. I do apologise if you're seeing what I'm doing to my fingers. My fingers are seizing up and I'm trying to keep them going. Those of you who don't know, I'm in the end stage of functional motor neurological disease disorder, and so I don't have much body use left. Hence the reason I'm reciting my lyrics and not singing them to you. And there was a song, there was a movie he was in with Randolph Scott. Can't think of it now. I know that Randolph Scott had retired. Lee Marvin's in it as well. There's a surprise. And the guy who was in, he was one of Mexico's leading actors in the 40s, made it into Hollywood in the 50s, in all these Western films. And he was in my favourite James Bond film, From Russia with Love, with the gorgeous Danielle Bianchi, about whom I wrote 2 songs, but not this one. And he came to, his last days were not pleasant for him, but he was a good father. I'm going off message here. I saw this lady's picture on IMDb, and I thought, well, if you were in a relationship with someone that beautiful, and it fell apart, like, how would you ever forget them? How would you ever forget them? You know, and so, and then if you were, I thought, if you were the guy that did things wrong and caused the ending, you know, what would fate's revenge on you be? So this song I wrote as the female. So I had the title first, Try to Dream Without Seeing Me. So I had this picture of this lady, and I thought, what is a caption for that picture? Try to Dream Without Seeing Me. And then the next, so that was 3 days ago. And the next days I kept playing this line. I thought, what would precede it? You gave me your heart and I'll never set it free. And then yesterday I needed to try and get myself vertical and sing a song. And what I generally do in those instances, I just write a new one. I keep saying just, and I don't mean to demean them. So I got a piece of paper and I thought, well, I've got this title kicking round, and the verses came. So that was inspired by Juliet, but it's for all ladies who've been mistreated and let down. You know, I mean, it applies to, you know, a male can be singing it to a lady as well. But it was written as a lady singing it to a male. Daughter of the Mountain. She strode across wastelands and flowers bloomed where she trod. She smiled, believe in yourself, and you will never need a god. She said to the enslaved, within you lies the key. Nobody can chain you when you accept that you are free. She was a daughter of the mountain, a soldier of light. She empowered those in shadows and taught them how to fight. She brought emancipation to those captive by self-doubt. She took on all the serpents and she cast them out. She sheltered the oppressed and said, you are safe with me. Now achieve your full potential and grasp your destiny. She was a daughter of the mountain, a soldier of light. She empowered those in shadows and taught them how to fight. To those who slept at night beneath the regime of fear, she said, your time is here, now dry your final tear. She smiled, your inner strength can defeat any foe. Now set your spirit free, let it go, let it flow. She was a daughter of the mountain, a soldier of light. She empowered those in shadows and taught them how to fight. again, that's a very strong female empowerment song. I do have to try and lean back. I apologise. The chair will creak. But waking my dead legs up. It's a very, I'm hoping it's a strong female empowerment anthemic song in there. It was certainly intended to be and was written. Again, this is another rare instance where the title, the phrase came first. It was someone that I knew, goodness me, 35 years ago maybe. And whenever I write songs, I make a cue card up about them, kind of like it comes from making records in the 80s, and you're like, okay, I'm going to design, that might be a single, so let's do some artwork for it, Little did I know 45 years ago that I would write 1,500 songs. And we were in the start of a relationship, and this lady and myself, but she lived in another country under another name. Bob doesn't reference that, and I was over here. One of us had to move, and it would have been easier for me to move, I guess. But I'm like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory, What's your plan? Blow up the apartment? It was my first thought, but I've got all my lovely things here. And while I was prevaricating about which way to go with it, I was in quite a bad accident. Someone shunted into me, and I was out for quite some time. And I did write to the lady. No internet in those days. The lady had moved house, and I wrote to her, no means of telephoning her. Whether the letters got through or not, I don't know. So I've been kind of off message for several weeks, I guess it must have been. And I never heard from her again until I think it was about 2020, and the lady come across me on the internet and sent me a message saying hi, and she'd changed her name, and it was still the funniest creature you can imagine. And I say creature in a bad way. I mean, just my daughter Emily is the funniest female on the planet, trademark. But this lady is a close second. And I can't remember if she had her. So I was looking around, and I went. I was going to record a song of mine called "Ballad of the Diamond Creek Girl," which is a song that I wrote about that lady. And I was going through the emails that we'd sent in this catch-up time, and then she went off radar and made it plain that our conversations were done. I mean, there wasn't anything deep-rooted at all, she had her life, and I was just writing some of my bizarre comedy stuff to her, like, telling me about this apartment that she had in Chicago, I think, and she said, the only thing that she could see outside of their window was the side of the flats, the apartments opposite, And I said, you think that, but, it might be that your neighbours, you might have a clear view of the Serengeti, but what your neighbours have done is they've just painted, a 6x8, picture of a brick wall and hung outside your window. I went on from there. I couldn't find a photograph of her. Well, I could. She just sent me photographs of kangaroos and things, which were great and everything. Okay, yeah. Anyway, so I had that title there, thinking about that lady's empowerment and the causes that she's fought for all her life. And that is, it's a song written for, a lyric written for all ladies, and some men maybe who are feeling a little bit under the boot heel of emotional oppression. The title begat the lyrics, and the lyrics begat the dedication. This is called Because I Don't Care. I saw you from a distance, and that was too close, standing there staring like yesterday's ghost. Not a word to say, and let's keep it that way. You tried to shoot my heart, but your aim was astray. The cupboard's bare, there's nothing there. Don't tell me that you're sorry, because I don't care. I never met anyone so highly strung. No axeman's blade was as sharp as your tongue. I won't allow you another chance now. Your message said you've changed, but you don't know how. The cupboard's bare, there's nothing there. Don't tell me that you're sorry, because I don't care. You keep looking west because I'm heading east. You're a vampire of the soul, but you've had your last feast. I'm not one to gloat, but you've missed your boat. I sleep easy now without your hands on my throat. The cupboard's bare, there's nothing there. Don't tell me that you're sorry, because I don't care. That was read at 20:29 p.m. on the 3rd of August. That's an all-out rocker. I could still play guitar, electric guitar, a few weeks ago, and I cranked that one out, and it seemed to be quite popular. It's a unigender song, and again, it's just a riposte. It's someone coming out from a relationship, and somewhere down the line looking back on it and saying, no good sending me a text message saying, oh, I'm sorry, I was a fool and wasn't thinking straight. I don't know, I don't recall, the song just came to me in an instant. It was just 10 minutes. I keep saying just. It was 10 minutes. It took us as long to write as it did to read. But I think that certainly when I sing it, the ending lines, because I don't care, I channel the great Julie Bowen on that. I was on a podcast with, I think, My Am Bialik. Julie Bowen, so funny. And she had this saying on that, how sad, too bad, or too bad, so sad, too bad. Something like that, and she was talking My Am Bialik and about something that had gone on in her life, because I don't care. So I channel her when I sing that. It's a good song. It's a good song for saying goodbye to anyone and clearing any debris out of your emotions, I can tell you that. The dawn never rises. Ominous footsteps in the alley. Sirens shrieking a nighttime lullaby. Clandestine meetings in dark doorways. There's many reasons why the children cry. Another lost hope bus arriving. 20 more blank-faced new names alight. Pillagers of the soul lie awaiting. 20 teenage screams pierce the night. A veteran huddles in his raincoat. his things I've seen, eyes staring blank. Gloating coat-nosed rich boys approach him. A pauper's funeral will be his nation's thanks. Schoolyards filled with stilettos, heels for the girls, blades for the boys. 2 blocks away a synagogue is burning. Tomorrow night a mosque will be destroyed. Juliet sobs into the pillow. It's movie night in a 13th floor apartment. She ran away from home, straight into hell. The man online never said this is what a fresh start meant. The soup kitchens are on overtime. Now everything's made cheaper abroad. Bobby's doing silver foil deliveries. His son's medical bills are more than he can afford. Police wait for the rain to cease. Then they'll go collect their bonus pay. The Mexican shopkeeper weeps, this week's been quiet. The batons tell him that's the wrong thing to say. In the dark park, Julie says no more. She smiles, it's a first date, so let's wait. She wakes up in the emergency ward. Billy's idea of love is hate. The textile factory closed down this morning, and the dockyard sign says, nothing today. 2,000 families dread the landlord's knock, and the commandments don't take hunger pangs away. Sounds are drowned out by silence. Next week's headlines are being writ tonight. Dawn never pierces these shadows, and the scavengers salivate with delight. And I read that at 16:43 p.m. on the 23rd of July 2024. Well, I mean, that's the kind of song that I've been writing all my life. I think the first couple of songs I ever wrote were love songs. I guess that's probably the same for a lot of songwriters. And then certainly in October 1982 I'd written Candle. I know this because it was inspired by a television program I saw, Boys in the Black stuff, about a man having his children taken away. Little did I know, huh? And that was, no one else had a song like that in those days. Maybe not now. I can't think of one now this day. That sadly goes on in this country. But that's a story for another song. I've always, people call them protest songs, and they're not protest songs unless you're protesting against injustice. They're social commentary songs. This is what's going on. That one seems to be more American based than UK based. But it's everywhere, For Mexican shopkeeper there, just change it to Asian shopkeeper in the very nasty little town that I live. And it's a little, as I was saying about my songs, they start off with a little, the spark. I always say you need 3 things to make a fire, which is ignition, oxygen, and fuel. And it's the same for me, can't speak for other songwriters, in relation to the songs, So I've always got the oxygen and the fuel, everything you see with your eyes, hear with your ears, in some ways smell with your nose. You can smell fear, and you can taste it as well. And in this country, in 2024, you can certainly taste injustice, even more so, I think, than back when I started, and that was under Mrs. Thatcher's regimes. And so I don't remember anything about writing the song. I truly don't. But I know, you get that, and it just comes through, and then little snapshots come through to you. It just gets updated, these days where you've got the internet, which obviously there wasn't, and crimes that weren't known about then when I started coming through. But it just goes there's a verse in there as an example. 20 blank face, a bus has just pulled in, 20 blank face, no names are alighting. That's straight out of my own life. I was homeless about from mid-79 through to maybe mid-80, I guess. I was homeless up in London. Well, I was homeless to start with, various places over the place. And we would all gravitate towards the train stations at night because lights, a little bit of shelter. It was harder for the police to move you on more than a doorway and stuff, I'm waiting for my train, officer. When's it in? Well, about 4 months. And stuff. But there was a bus station aligned to the train station, and I'd been in the army, and so I was out of the army by then and was able to kind of look after myself. But you'd seen, so many people, certainly in London, everyone ran away to London, so not everyone, but they gravitated towards it, it had this pull, but the streets were lined with manipulation and exploitation, never gold. I remember one couple that I met, and they were shivering. I had a bad arm at the time, and I had a faux leather jacket on. And it was a very cold night, and the three of us were huddled up into this tiny little waiting room, absolutely bitter. And I was only 20, but the girl and the guy, maybe 15, 16. I didn't know their story, knew the names, but the girl was shivering, and I took my coat off and just put it over her shoulders. You would think that I'd given her the keys to Buckingham Palace, And then they moved on about 5 o'clock in the morning. She gave me my coat back, and I'd seen so many of those people, And so they're still there in my psyche now, even though obviously I'm not sitting under the Hammersmith underpass anymore. I don't think it exists anymore. I think it's a flower bed or something now in Paddington Station there, right? You must be dreaming. You're playing for time, but the wheel is fixed. They're coming down the street with a whole new set of tricks. The Samaritan has turned his coat inside out. When you need help, there isn't anyone about. They're beating a slow drum on Union Street. Democracy is nothing more than a vague conceit. You got the wrong colour skin in the wrong kind of town, the wrong kind of temple, so they're burning it down. They'll offer you nothing and say, pay in advance. Pour petrol on your feet and laugh, look at him dance. The cops put on their shades and say self-defense. The fact that they were born here proves their innocence. And you must be dreaming if you think things will ever change. Yes, you must be dreaming if you think things will ever change. They stigmatize your father and harlotize your mother. Shake your hand and check to see if theirs has changed colour. But they lust for your daughter like dogs in heat, laughing in your face, she's sweet enough to eat. You walk past hate-word painted walls. Bigotry moves fast while justice crawls. Both hide behind the white flag of security. Chanting cleanses land of impurity. Keyboard rats pouring venom in the pot. How dare they have more than I have got? You'll never cure minds full of such corrosion. You must be dreaming if you... The fuse is always lit for the next explosion. You must be dreaming if you think things will ever change. Yes, you must be dreaming if you think things will ever change. I stumble a bit that every time I've done that song, singing it or reciting it, I've done it wrong. I just realised that for a very rare instance, normally as soon as I write a song, I write down where I've been doing that for years, but I haven't done that one. I'm going to have to stop because my jaw is starting to seize, and even though it's only paper, my arms are dead, and there's nothing of me under here, I'm afraid. That kind of reiterates what I was just saying about the previous song. There's been a whole lot of bad stuff going on in England in the last maybe a couple of weeks ago, and also in the last couple of centuries. That may have inspired that, I'm not entirely sure. There's a whole lot of stuff coming through there. You're going right back, what am I, 63 now? So you're going back maybe 55 years.